think finally their family said, "Listen, we gotta kind of do some estate planning," and it was a drain on them each month, and so they put it up for sale. It had been on the market when we found it, for about 2 years, and they were desperately, and they told us this, of course, they were desperately trying to find a golf operator to buy the course, but nobody could make the model work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shorter course. It's landlocked. There's no way to really expand it. And, it was built in 1912, and they really hadn't done anything at all to it besides change the greens and the grass of the greens. So it just was dated, Dan. And so we sort of entered the picture, and the property was zoned either for golf or 1 acre lots. And we said, listen, we think this could be a really special place for what we want to do with it, and building a distillery on it will affect about 30% of the property, and the rest will leave as green space.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like to keep some holes. Don't know if we can at this moment. We didn't want to commit to anything, but that would be the idea. That would be pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
So we came to an agreement. We had to take it through the city council to get rezoned, which we did. And that was now 3 years ago. Fast forward, we have just in the last really 2 weeks completed construction of the facilities, which is just a beautiful campus that I hope your listeners will come see, because it's spectacular, overlooking a bluff, overlooking treetops to downtown. So the facility for our core business in making whiskey is wonderful. It's up there with a campus-like feel that you would experience at Maker's Mark or Woodford Reserve or a wonderful winery. So that aspect is really beautiful. It's going to be a great tourist attraction. That's what we built it for in Fort Worth, to see how we make our products and to sample them and enjoy that experience. What we've discovered through that process now in almost 3 years was a way that we could preserve a lot of the golf course, and we've done so. And, we, as I mentioned earlier, Troy and I both love golf. So we were really in the back of our minds when we were going through the process of buying it and getting rezoned, wishing we were going to find a way to maintain the property, not only selfishly because we love golf, but also because of this extraordinary history of two golfing icons, global icons, that were born and raised in this neighborhood and played and caddied on this course. So we absolutely respect that history and saw that, that history could become part of our history, which we thought was pretty neat. And obviously there's a great natural relationship between whiskey and golf.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, dating back, hundreds of years to Scotland and Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked. And so we also discovered economically, this is really interesting, I think, just as where golf is going and the challenges that it's facing. But, the model was not working for this course in this area as a pure golf play. But, we now have dropped this other business on it. And we discovered that if we're not preparing it for golf every day, but we're mowing the grass and, of course, keeping good care of the greens, the economics are totally different.
Sure.
From maintenance to daily play. And so we really understood that from labor, gas, water, to all the pesticides and fertilizers, all those things, totally different. So we began to see that this could really work, and it could become a great attraction that if we decided to turn the course on, we could have private events, we could have charity events, we could have our customers come in and how powerful that would be. So we committed to it. We've made some adjustments. It was originally a par 71 and was just under 6,200 yards, 6,100 yards. We remodeled it. We rerouted it. We built 9 new tee boxes. We've got 3 new greens with 2 completely new holes. Mostly what we did was change a few par 4s into par 3s. But now it's a par 68, 34. It's a little bit, almost 5,500 yards. And it's a lot of fun. It's, that's, I think, was really one of our goals. We're not going to be competing for an Open, and let's make this fun and make it enjoyable for people that love to play golf or just think it's cool. Come out here, see our whiskey business, and learn a little bit about some incredible golf history.
Well, I think it's a great concept, and I wish you all the best. We're out of time, so what we got to do is, I'm sure there's a lot more we could talk about, but you do have a website, you do have a Facebook page. The website is www.frdistilling.com, facebook.com/FRDistilling. You can keep up with it. Anybody who's listening, I guess all of our listeners are going to be in on this in the very beginning, and hopefully they'll come and visit you guys.
We hope so. Appreciate the time, Dan. Thank you.
My pleasure, and good luck to you, Leonard.
Thanks so much.
All righty, bye-bye. What we're going to do is take one more quick break. We're running a little bit late, but we're going to be back, and we're going to be talking about just an incredible, luxurious vessel that you don't want to miss. You can see it at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, but we're going to get the inside scoop. You're not going to want to miss it, so stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show.
Cinderella story, out of nowhere, a former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion. It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole!
I ride fly, call me chocolate thunder, and I got good to go 4 strokes under. Get out the way if you wanna go play, cause I give it my all every single day.
Have a lot of cash cause I sink my putts. Stacks and stacks cause I'm making the cuts.
And we are back, and if your business needs industrial workers, or if you're looking for work, you gotta call Labor Finders. Labor Finders places for temporary or temporary to hire opportunities for skilled, semi-skilled, or general labor positions such as plumbers, electricians, concrete workers, forklift operators, hospitality, office clerical, and so much more. Labor Finders has almost 200 offices nationwide. Near here in Boca Raton, they have offices in Homestead, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and in Jupiter. So if you need legal, insured workers, or if you're looking to work, call Labor Finders toll free at 800-864-7749. That's 800-864-7749, or visit laborfinders.com. And we are back, and living on the water is not something I'm accustomed to doing, but some people love it. Some people can't get enough of it just on the weekend, and you got to live right there. And if you want to live in style, if you want to live better than most people live on land, you got to find out about this boat, the Luxuria. And the guy who built it is going to be with us, and you're going to be able to see it in the next couple of days if you would like to. But to find out a little bit more about the Luxuria, we've got Bob Rowe. He's the CEO of Global Boatworks. Bob, are you there? Bob?
Dan?
There you are. Okay, now we got you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you very much for having us. We're very excited and appreciate the opportunity.
Well, now, building a vessel of this magnitude is not something that somebody just one day wakes up and decides to do. So why don't you explain to us a little bit about your background and how you came to Global Boatworks and building these luxurious estates almost on water?
Yeah, it's really not something you, like you said, you wake up and just decide you're going to do it. This has been a long project in the works for many years. Originally started back in 2004 with the initial vessel built up. We're from the Boston area, up in the Northeast.
I couldn't tell that.
Yeah, we park the car every now and then.
So how many boats of this or vessels of this magnitude have you already constructed?
The Luxuria is number 2, and we have number 3 in the works, and number 4 not far behind that. We've got a number of different plans we are working on as we speak.
And of course,
right now the jewel of our eye is the Luxuria. But once again, we started back with the original, named the Miss Lear, appropriately after my wife Lear, and we lived on it for almost 3 years, and it was just an exceptional lifestyle. I've been in the construction industry with my family for over 40 years, and headed with my brother Ron and my nephew Ron Jr. And after living on the Miss Lear and experiencing the lifestyle, it was just, we thought, a natural to bring it here to South Florida. I mean, it's the yachting capital of the world in Fort Lauderdale. It's the vacation capital of the world. So with the expertise in the building business, just in this trend happening in many other parts of this beautiful country of ours and the world, we thought it was the perfect time and opportunity to get into, put both of our feet in the water. So we have come forward with what we feel is just an amazing product. We've had some other media look at it, and it's kind of been tabbed as a hybrid. It is a documented vessel with the Coast Guard, but yet it has all the amenities and the modern conveniences of an extravagant mini mansion. And it's on the water, and you know, why live near the water when you can live on the water?
That sounds like a cool plan to me. Now, obviously, we're going to tell everybody your website so they can see what it looks like, and hopefully some folks will go to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show that's coming up in just a couple of days and see it. But can you just describe a little bit about the features? You know, we talk about this luxurious lifestyle, and it's, you know, like a beautiful, mansion on the water, but people maybe can't really picture it so well. So describe a little bit about, you know, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square footage, the views, whatever. How would you describe it so people can get a good picture of it?
Will do. The Global Boat Works came up with the design. It, again, is best described maybe as a floating Miami, Fort Lauderdale penthouse. It has every imaginable amenity that I think you could put into a home. We have starts off with 9-foot ceilings, LED fireplace, 4 large screen TVs, motorized shades, completely hand-built design kitchen with Caesar stone counters, Bosch appliances, a very unique, one-of-a-kind wine room built in, 2 luxurious bathrooms with rain heads and body sprays and waterfalls, heated towel racks, soaking tubs, big screen TVs, Lutron lighting, Nest system so that you can operate the whole home, vessel, I should say, with your telephone or any other device, your iPad. Again, I don't know what it doesn't have.
Well, I've looked at the pictures, and you're right, and it is just incredible. Now, I have a question for you. Obviously, you have it docked in Fort Lauderdale. If somebody decides to purchase it, what's involved with relocating it to some other place that they might want it to be? How do you get it around? We lose you? All right. I don't know what happened. We lost Bob. Hopefully Bob will call us back, and then we will hear the rest of the story. In the meantime, what I will do for all of you is let you know how you could take a look at this beautiful, luxurious vessel. And what you could do is you could go to www.luxuria, that's LUXURIA.global. You could also go to YouTube, and it's too long for me to give you that link, but just on YouTube, put in Luxuria, and I'm sure you can find it. You can also go to globalboatworks.global, which is their website, and you can find out a little bit more about their background. And I think we got Bob back, perhaps. I don't know. Blake, yes? We got him back. Bob, you're back with us? We lost you.
I am. I could hear you fine on this end. I don't know.
We couldn't hear
wonderful
you.
World of electronics, but
I don't know.
Back.
You were lost at sea.
We don't want to do that.
But I took advantage of the time to let everybody know about the website so that they could go find, as well as the fact that they could do a quick search on YouTube and see the video as well. So why don't we change gears a little bit, because we're running a little bit short on time. Why don't you explain a little bit about what's going on at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show so that people, because I have a funny feeling while it's great to look at it online and look at the video, there's probably nothing quite like actually having an opportunity to set foot on the vessel.
Absolutely right. I've had so many people with the same observation. You come on board, and it's just amazing. We are at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, opening up on Wednesday, November 1 through Sunday, November 5. We're over at the Hall of Fame Marina right in the Bahia Mar. Mm-hmm. Should be very accessible, but it is really just truly amazing to be on the vessel versus the website. Like you said, they are very nice, but it does not do it justice. So we would welcome everybody to come on down and see us.
See, I have to say that I don't get out on boats very, very often. Not that I don't like to. People just don't invite me. But and I live way north of here up in Martin County. We have a nice boat show up in Stewart as well. But as a little kid, my father used to take me to the New York Boat Show at the New York Coliseum. I went several times as a kid, and it was just fascinating for me to have an opportunity to check out all of these big, small boats and all the beautiful models on each boat. You know, it was just, it was a wonderful time as a child. So I would like to suggest to any of the parents or the grandparents that are out there that this is a great place to take the little ones to go see what this whole boating lifestyle is all about, right?
It really is. They've got a lot of hoopla with everybody and everything in between. It's fantastic, from small boats to mega yachts to the Luxuria. And many different lifestyles in the marine industry. But it really is something to behold. If you have not been to a boat show, I would suggest to come down. It is a great family atmosphere. It's got just about anything you can imagine in terms of marine industry items available.
Now, if somebody...
Again, the Luxuria, we were talking about it, I think, when we got cut off. But we do power it with two 300 horsepower Suzukis, and again, the YouTube photos would certainly show it in a sea trial and moving along, and it's awesome. Very exciting. We couldn't be more happy to be able to present it in the boat show.
Now, if somebody was not quite sure if they wanted to buy it, you do have a plan where somebody could like lease it for a shorter period of time, and I don't know what period of time that is, to give it a trial run?
Well, as we speak, the Luxuria is for sale, but we do have a program where we will be chartering it or leasing it. We do a 3-night minimum. Mm-hmm. We did it in Boston, and again, it was very successful after my wife and I moved here to South Florida. We didn't know quite what we were going to do with the Miss Lear, and we ended up putting it in the rental on the home away from home, and it actually took on a life of its own. So we hopefully intend to do that again with the Luxuria and our future vessels. Our long-range goal, we took the company, we did go public with it, we have a trading symbol, and we're looking ultimately to have our own marina, our own village, where people can buy these, they can charter them, they can do shared ownership. So we have a lot of different programs and really a long-range plan that we're looking to implement. But right now we have the Luxuria at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, and we'd be very, very happy to meet whoever would love to come down and see it. A very, very exciting lifestyle that it just has to be seen and to be imagined.
Well, hopefully, just hopefully, one of our listeners is going to come down and fall in love with it and buy it, and then you could focus on your next beautiful vessel that you're building. So we can only hope, right?
That's it.
But wait, I have one
we're
last.
Very confident that they're out there.
Somebody is out there. But I have a question for you. When you spend so much time building these vessels and living on them at times as well, how do you feel when? I mean, obviously you're in business to sell them, but are you kind of sad to part with it?
Very. I've got a wife that's not very happy with it. We just sold a Miss Lear about a month ago, but the promise of a new one has set our focus to look forward to happier days. But the water is our lifestyle. That's what it has really got us as a family going. My brothers, we grew up in the water with my father built a boat when we were 16 years old, and we're very happy to continue on at this stage and really looking to be in this long range. So I'm going to be creating a new home here relatively soon. Thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure learning about this because it's, like I said, it's a little bit foreign to me, but it just looks and sounds really cool, and I wanted to share it with everybody. So congratulations to you on your endeavor, and good luck at the show. And hopefully I'll read about it in the newspaper that there's a new owner.
Well, thankfully, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to talk about the Luxuria. Maybe you may find your way down. I know you're a little bit north of us, but we are here anytime. You certainly know how to reach out and get
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely.
Any of the listeners out there, please come down. We have the two websites. You probably already gave them out, I think.
I did. You can do it one more time, though, if you like. Go right ahead.
Well, we have globalboatworks.global, which is different.
Yep.
And that is about our company. And then we have a separate landing page for the Luxuria, and that is the Luxuria.global, LUXURIA.global. And you can Google us up. There's plenty of media articles on us. And, again, we thank you sincerely for having us, and we thank the listeners and look forward to meeting anybody that wants to see a new exciting venture.
Great. Thank you so much, Bob.
Dan, thank you.
All righty. What we're going to do is take one last quick break, and then I got a little bit of news, local news, and then a couple of deals for you. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show.
Good evening.
And we are back, and a little bit of the Blues Brothers, some Chicago music for you. Many of you may know or may not know, but sometimes after I do this show, I head over to one of my favorite places to hang out on Friday night, which is the Seminole Coconut Creek. And during the season, it's a little bit small, and it gets a little bit crowded, and sometimes the minimums at the tables go a little bit beyond my budget, so I decided I'd switch over to the Hard Rock, and because it's a little bit bigger and it's a little more affordable, it seems, which is nice. But the last time I went there, I noticed that all of the clubs and restaurants that were out back were all demolished, and they were building this new structure, and I wasn't quite sure what it was about. But there was a big media event there this week, and as it turns out, I stopped there before my trip to Chicago and on my way back from Chicago, and luckily I picked up a few dollars that I took home with me, which was very, very generous of the Seminole Tribe, so thank you to the Seminole Tribe. But the Hard Rock, they knocked down all that stuff because they are building this 35-story new hotel tower in the shape of a guitar. They've got about 7 stories up already. They had Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden was there on Wednesday for this media event. Of course, I was in Chicago, so I couldn't attend. But not only is it going to be this huge hotel, but the casino space is going to be there too. So the casino is going to probably be like doubled in size from what it currently is. So, and the other thing is they're demolishing the Hard Rock Live, where they have all these wonderful shows. To be perfectly honest, I was never thrilled with the design, the acoustics or the sight lines. I don't know who decided to do it, whatever. I mean, the Seminoles, they're a great tribe, and God bless them for what they do and the fun that I have there and so many people have there, and the fact that, obviously they do quite well. But they're going to tear down that rectangular box and put up a theater-style building, about 7,000 seats, So all of these wonderful bands that they bring in there, hopefully there'll be better sightlines and better acoustics. So we'll see. I'll keep you informed because, again, I love the Seminole tribe. My son is a Seminole, and the tribe supports Florida State. They have a good relationship, so they're not upset that they're called the Seminoles. It's respectful, and I'm a fan. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. With that being said, we only got a minute or two for a couple of deals for you. Travel Zoo is where I found this one, where I find a lot of my deals. How about Italy? 4-star Milan trip, nonstop on Emirates, which is one of the top-rated airlines in the world, starting at only $449. That's nonstop flights, I believe, out of New York City area. We're talking about 4 nights at a 4-star hotel in Milan in the city center. It includes breakfast, taxes, fees. I've been to Milan. It's a great city for fashion. You're not too far from Tuscany and Lake Como, and just some beautiful, beautiful areas are all within a day trip. Of course, you could add on additional additional nights. These are for departures in January, February, and March. The weather might be a little bit cool, but for this kind of price, you just can't beat that. You do have to book that quickly, though, because we're running out of time on that one. So do not hesitate. I believe you only have about a day or so you better hurry on that one. I also I got a couple of other deals for you if we got another minute or two. Oh, I want to tell you, remind everybody about another website that I've been talking about for the past few weeks, Scott's Cheap Flights. And just go to scottscheapflights.com, I believe it is. Oaxaca in Mexico is little from Miami, $234. These is for airfare, this particular site. Cheap airfare deals. You go there, you sign up, they send you emails, and it's unbelievable. Orlando, $236 round trip to go to that same location. Just an incredible deal. Another great deal I got quickly for you, Playa Hotels, the Sanctuary at Cap Cana. My favorite golf course in the world is right there. Punta Espada. 6-star luxury, they call it, $180 per guest for a junior ocean view room now through March 31st. This is peak season, and of course Punta Cana did not get damaged by the hurricane. It's an adult-only experience here with these luxurious suites and unlimited food and drinks. It's all inclusive. The golf will cost you a little bit extra, of course, at Punta Espada. It's an experience like you'd get at Pebble Beach for a lot less money than Pebble Beach. So I highly recommend it. One last tip for you all, a guest that we've had on in the past, Fathom Events. They have these different concerts and stuff on closed circuit kind of in theaters. A guy that I really enjoy listening to, Sammy Hagar. He has his beach bash in Cabo, and he's going to be having it soon, and you're going to be able to go and see it in the theater. Theaters all over near you. It's on December 5th. Guests like Toby Keith and Eddie Money and Bob Weir are all going to be there. It's Tuesday, December 5th at 7:30. fathomevents.com. You can buy tickets. They're going on sale now, so go check that out. That's going to be an event that you're not going to want to miss, and unless you could get to Cabo and party with Sammy right there, this is the next best thing. I want to remind everybody, facebook.com/The Golf and Travel Show. Go there, like the page, and then you will know about all these great guests that we have, people like Leonard Firestone. I want to thank him, the distiller and proprietor for Firestone and Robertson Distilling, as well as Bob Rowe, the CEO for Global Boatworks. A little bit different show tonight, very, very interesting, very diverse. I truly enjoy that whole tie-in with the whiskey and the golf because, obviously, like we mentioned, with the roots and the history in Scotland and Ireland, whiskey and golf just they seem to go together. So very, very cool show. I enjoyed it myself. I always learn a lot and love sharing it all with you. So tune in next week. Next Friday, we'll be back again with another live edition of the Golf and Travel Show. You won't want to miss it.
On a tour of one-night stands, my suitcase and guitar in hand, and every stop is neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band. Homeward bound.
You have been listening to the Golf and Travel Show, hosted by Dan Shub, heard live every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1470 WWNN, and replayed every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 740 a.m. WSBR. Visit the show on Facebook And tune in next week. If you are in South Florida or traveling the world, hit 'em straight. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.